I went through and compiled, thank you, sir, this book right here, Analytics, by Professor Griff. 20 years of conversations and interviews with public enemies, minister of information. I went through, I literally had read like 300 interviews that he did and compiled 18 of them that we put in this book. And one is an interview. The first was an interview where he discusses some issues that happened with the group that had never been talked about before. So you get a chance to see that in this book. But coming out of Roosevelt, Long Island, connecting with some brothers, Chucky D and Flavor Flav. Y'all didn't know his name was Chucky D first, right? Did y'all know that? Y'all didn't know that. He said, no, man, we can't roll with that. So he changed his name to Chuck. I'm not rolling with Chucky. Chucky D would come to the events that he would throw with his group, Unity Force. They would run around, and he talks about this. Spectral City with Hank Shockley and Keith Shockley, the Bomb Squad. See, y'all got to go back and do your history on Public Enemy. These are the super dope deaf producers. But they came together as a collage. The Bomb Squad, the Unity Force, Spectrum City, S1Ws with Security of the First World, along with Chuck D and Flavor Flav to form Public Enemy, the most iconic, legendary hip-hop group of all time. Hands down. Every list that you look at, you will see but Public Enemy is number one, where you will see the song, what's the name of the song?
Fight the Power.
Thank you. Fight the Power. So y'all been having Fight the Power, the number one hip-hop song of all time, where you see our brother who has a major, I say has, because some people, there was that little bump in the road. Y'all do know he's still with Public Enemy, right? It irks me when we go places and people are formerly with Public Enemy. Even our brother Boyce Watkins, we had this issue with him. He knew better. He said, formerly, no. He's been with Public Enemy. He's a founder, co-founder of Public Enemy, which is a rock and roll Hall of Fame group. So we have a rock and roll Hall of Famer in our midst. I see him all the time. He is the most accessible star that you will ever meet. I've been with him, and they just get off a stage, just rock 30,000 people, and now he's out just walking around, all willy-nilly. Like, really, bro? It's really for real, though? But it's because of what Brother Kalonji said earlier, the love, true love of the people. I've seen him roll up on, we're just riding down the street in some city, and he'll see a sister and her children. Walk up to them, give them money so they can buy something to eat. Those types. Not making no big deal about himself and none of that kind of stuff, but literally taking care of the people every day, sharing information with whomever calls. We've been talking all day, crashing. Phone rings at 2:30 in the morning, and he gonna answer the phone. I'm like, really, bro? For real though? Peace, this is Griff. What's good? But that comes from the love of the people wanting to share so that it'll make all of us better people. So mark your calendars. April the 18th. April the 18th, 2020. Public Enemy will be receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award at the Grammys. Y'all know what the Grammys are? Lifetime Achievement Award because of the body of work that they produce, that our brother who's here with us today has a major part of helping accomplish. It's not just one person. You hear a voice, but there's so many moving parts behind that. That's on the music tip. We met in this type of arena. Everybody that came through that was dropping signs is bringing us knowledge so it can make us a better person and a better community. If he was in town, he's right there. A lot of those whom you all admire to this day, who are all over the internet, it was because of Professor Griff bringing them on board. The very first time Dr. Umar Johnson came to Atlanta, do y'all know who brought him here? Take a guess. I'll give you one guess. Yeah, that was Professor Griff in 2011. 2011, we rented a little spot right over here off of North Avenue. It was like 500 people showed up in a space that only sat 60. They only sat 60 people. Dr. Umar Johnson came in, put them on, and now you all watch all of Dr. Umar Johnson's videos because of what our brother, and that's just one. There's so many others. We can name the list. Oh, that's so kind. So it is my honor. I'm saying all that to say, it is my honor, it is my pleasure to bring before you my big brother, my friend, my mentor, Professor Griff of Public Enemy.
Let's give Brother Jahi a round of applause. Thank you. Before I get started, we're just going to make a few corrections in his introduction. We don't do the word mentor. What book is that in, Baruti? On his way past the table. Could you tuck that under his arm? How much is it? Okay, I got it for him. All right, we're going to lose that word mentor. And then number two, I'm not taking credit for Umar. Nobody. No. I'm just, y'all can applaud if y'all want to. I give less than a rat's ass. I'm not taking credit for no. Because y'all know me. My integrity over everything. So I don't want to throw nothing out there so y'all can run back and tell somebody. I'm not taking credit for that. I do what I do. I did what I did in the past. There's many other people that he could have mentioned that I don't ever mention that I kicked the door down for and brought them forward. There was this dude selling what the hell was Kalanji selling at the time, man? Y'all just heard him speak, man. I used to run with Kalanji for a minute. I mean, he got together with beautiful, beautiful wife of his. Let's give Kalanji a round of applause. In this work, we have to, supplement the work because this, we're not in this to get paid. So if the people support you, they support you. If not, you might have to do some of the things that Kalanji has done to see his self through, selling vegan napkins and vegan toothpicks and shit. It's like, it's like, bruh, come on, man. It's like, but anyway, Jahi said it absolutely correct, reiterating the fact that Kalanji set in motion in this meeting that we're having here today, this whole idea of love. And I don't know when the last time you've actually turned to your brother or your sister in true love and then walked it out. You understand what I'm saying? And really meant it without having an ulterior motive.
Come on. You
understand what I'm saying? So with that said, I need everyone to look around the room. Can we do that just for a second? Find a very unfamiliar face. Everybody stand up. Just stand up. Get up out of your comfort zone. And everybody greet at least 3 people. Tell them you love them. All right? Come on now. I know, right? That's a beautiful thing. So as I would have began in the divine name of the Supreme Being, I want to greet everyone with a civilized greeting, peace, shalom, hotep. Really appreciate that. Let's give a round of applause, definitely, for not only Kalanji, but Brother Kevin. Are you still with us, bro? Raise your hand. Let's give a round of applause to this brother, the curator of this particular museum. Thank you. And I wanted to let you know this is my first time here. It's a very warm and beautiful place, and I wanted Kevin to know that for 17 years, Brother Jahi and Brother Richie, to tell you, along with my wife, that I've been the co-curator of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum. And we've traveled around the country, and it's actually been a mobile museum, and we set up all across the country. And I'd like to kind of bring that museum here so we can get it. We can make it happen. I got your card. We'll talk about that, all right? All right, that's a beautiful thing. But let's give a round of applause once again for Jahi, Muhammad. And of course, the body of work that I want to lay out could not be possible if it wasn't for this beautiful couple over here, Brother Imwali Mukeba Mani Baruti and his wife, Any, so I want to thank my beautiful wife for all the support that she gives. Let's give Soleil a round of applause. I'm saying in the midst of all of this music that's ripping our soul apart, the sister, and I'm not just saying it because this is my wife, has a beautiful album that she constructed and put together. We want to raise the vibrational pitch of our thinking. Come on, y'all. I mean, we can talk about the negative stuff that's out there, but okay, we can talk about somebody else and what they're doing, but until we're moving the conscious positive stuff forward, what are we really doing? You understand what I'm saying? And last but definitely not least, of course, Hustle, you good? All right. That's my people over there, Hustle. So if y'all need some photography work, some video work, please go see Hustle. And of course, my brother, Minister Server, man. He may not like me for saying this. Me and that brother, when we finally met, we clashed real hard. And we always say to one another, that's how a diamond is made. You got to put it under pressure. You understand what I'm saying? When you first find these diamonds, they're muddy and ugly until you put it under pressure. That's the only time it'll shine. And now we have a relationship, that's unbreakable. But he might not like me for this next statement, but he got to get this book out, man. I mean, come on, bro. How long has it been?
Too long.
Okay, too long. So, if by next year, if we standing here, can we bring you up so you can talk about the book next year?
That's right, you got it.
That's your word.
That's my
Your word is bond, and bond is life. And you give your life before your word shall fail.
I got it.
Okay, because this brother's a walking library when it comes to hip-hop. These experiences that he's had rolling with KRS-One and what he's been doing with the Temple of Hip-Hop. You understand? So we gotta have that part of what we do, bro, for real. All right, give thanks. So you heard the man, right? Gave us his word. All right. I'm sorry I had to put you on the spot. Let me run through this real quick. So when me and Kalanji talked, we talked about this whole idea of putting together the first lecture to set off this supposedly new year, and we was trying to figure out what to call it. My brain was wrapped up into this project that I'm just now completing, so I left it up to Kalanji. He shot the idea by me in reference it to it being 2020, the third eye blind. And I said, yeah, the people that's going to be drawn to it already know the concept, the whole idea of the 2020 vision in 2020, and then your third eye not being blind. We understand that concept. Am I right or wrong? Yeah. Okay. The issue now is for us to get a set of instructions or to reinforce what you already know, so then we can go out and fill the rest of these seats. Would you agree? Okay. Because they're not going to come on their own. Would you agree? All right. We can't force them to come. All right. We can't sell chicken dinners and weed, so we gotta find another way to get them in, right? No, yes, help me out. Biko, help me out. Okay. Have we thought about these innovative ways? See, we go mute. We can't set up a stripper pole. We can't do, no, we got to have innovative ways to bring them in, right or wrong? Right. Okay. From this point forward, we have to start thinking in terms of what methods or what innovative ways, what environment can we create to bring young people in here. We'll eventually have to carry this baton. Brother Baruti and other brothers like him have been reaching back to pass the baton, and very few have stepped up. People have stepped up and not even grabbed the baton because it's duty and responsibility and accountability. You understand what I'm saying? That's a very difficult task. I'm saying to you, if we look around and we don't see young people, aren't you in fear of what's going to happen in the future without us preparing them for the future? Our future.
That's right.
All right, so let's understand that particular dynamic, and I'm with you. We're creating an environment for them to come to express themselves. Not sitting for hours, lecturing, whatever. We have to give them something to do. All right? If the vendors got children, they bring them, put them behind the table, let them run the cash register, do something. Let them ring people up. All right? Let them bargain and negotiate with people with the product. But we have to get them moving. Are you following what I'm saying? Because trust me, the streets going to have them moving in a whole different kind of way. Am I right or wrong? Right. Okay, give thanks. Let me move forward. So, Kalanji, thank you for the subject matter. I really appreciate that. We don't need any sound. I want to run through this real quick. The company that I own is Sirius Mindz Institute and Sirius Mindz RNTV. And right now, as we speak, thanks to my beautiful wife over there, I've actually halfway through completing an online course. It's a straight up, raw, gutsy, robust curriculum. Starting out with meditation, prayer, setting up an altar, libation, right on through. All right, thank you very much, sis. Because what I'm trying to do, keeping my finger on the pulse of our people, is fill the void. I see people with branch knowledge, arguing on the internet, concepts and all this other kind of stuff. I say, wait a minute. If we had the root, we don't have to have that conversation. We can make some progress. So I said, well, let me do this here. Let me put together a course, put it online where you can come and move at your own pace. Yeah. You follow what I'm saying? And it's robust and it's real. So just let me throw some things at you real quick to give you an idea of what the course is made of. I said to myself in my travels, all the people that I have met, some people that I have met that have put out a dynamic book, but they didn't end up on Oprah to sell the book. So the book is sitting in their garage with like 5 or 10 boxes of books because they can't sell them because they don't have visibility. So I said, what if I gathered all of those people? Some poets and some educators and some other people. What if I put all that information together and put it in a curriculum? Then made it available to you that you can get on your computer, your phone, your tablet, at your own time, at your own pace. I said that would be beautiful. It would take me a lot of time to do, but I managed to do it. So one of those books, before I say that, how many books do you have written, good brother? 25 books. Hold on to that point. Wait, hold on before we applaud. How many books of his have we read and then made applicable to our lives? How many people do you know that are homeschooling right now that fail to reach out to the brother to make those books and that body of work part of their home curriculum? Or their homeschooling? See, this is the issue now. We have a brother in our midst that put together a body of work that can serve as a university. Am I right or wrong? That can serve as a university, but we don't tap into the elder that still walks among us. In my my business, when we talk in Sirius Mindz Institute, from the outstart, we said we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors and we kneel at the feet of our elders who walk among us. But yet we walk by the elders and their body of work. And the school struggles sometimes to stay afloat. There should be no reason in the world that school shouldn't have enough money to do I don't care if it's a field trip, after school program, lunch program, whatever it is. Am I right or wrong? Right. We have to be able to support those particular institutions that we should be sending our children to. All right, they're not going to fare in the public school system. We already know that. All right. So back to my point. Taking aspects of what he has given me personally as an individual, and then us as a collective group of people. I said to myself, why don't I incorporate what he's given me into the curriculum? And then once you participate in the curriculum, it can lead you right back to support the schools. So this is why, one of the reasons why I set it up. This book here, Lies My Teacher Told Me, I've had it for at least 12 years. All right? Read the book and I said to myself, well, the average person really don't even know about this particular book and the information that's in the book. How can I take it down off of my shelf? So, like, how many books you think we have in both of our libraries combined? 20,000. At least 2,000 books. And she'll tell you I combed through all of them just to put the curriculum together. And I took this one off the shelf, Lies My Teacher Told Me. You and your children need this information, but where are you going to get it? Do you have $39.95? Probably not. Not right now. Not to spend on this. You understand what I'm saying? So what I did was comb through this, extract the vital information out of this, and I put it in the curriculum. Lies My Teacher Told Me. Issues in African American education, because what we need right now is ma'at. We need to balance this thing out. All right? We need an African-centered curriculum based in a God-centered curriculum. Yeah. Are you following? All right, I got in trouble for that before, so we're going to talk about that a little bit later on if you have an issue with that. Well, let me tell you what I said. I can't tell you who came at me hard body. Damn. I was like, bro, we the same height. Anyway. I'm like, bro, we Africans, yeah. But do we need to stop at being African? No. Why can't we take the Africanness that the Creator deposited in us and who we are and move on to being gods and goddesses? The scripture says, ye are all God's children of the Most High God. So we're African, yes, I don't mind that. All right, but what's wrong with me constantly moving perpetually towards what the Creator deposited in me? And that's me being God. See, some of us have issues with that. You understand what I'm saying? I think there's nothing wrong with that particular concept. Everything that's divine in nature is within you. You just got to accept your own and what? Exactly. Moving right along. the white architects of black education.
Yeah, come on.
How many know that these architects have gotten together in smoke-filled back rooms and constructed this public school curriculum, all right, that was designed for you to fail? You end up graduating dumb. No, I'm dead serious. Dumb. So the white architects of black education. Too much school, too little education.
Yes.
How many people in here with degrees working at Walmart? About to put his hand down quick. He said, too much school, too little education. The paradox of black life in white society. We would have never, ever got a hold of these books and extracted the information, yet we would have if some brave soul would have stepped forth and said, you know something, we need to go into these books and extract this information out so the beautiful little one right here can get it.
Yes.
Are you following what I'm saying? Just give me a few more minutes. Racism in the academic marketplace.
Yes. That's it.
I worked with a brother with the Black History 101 Mobile Museum who just got his, what, was it 2 weeks ago? Got his doctorate. He's a PhD now. He's an actual doctor. And he tells me all the time, he says, what am I going to do with this? It's like, he says it's going to open some doors, but I want to be able to affect change on a real level. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I think that's beautiful. So racism in the academic marketplace. All right? And it's real. It's real. Baruti will tell you it's real. When you were at Morehouse, did you experience racism? So we have to understand this particular dynamic. Just a few more, y'all. Making their mark. Educating African-American children. A bold new plan for education reform. If the educational system was working, why the hell you got to reform it?
Right.
Am I right or wrong? Okay. The liberation of the African mind. The key to black salvation.
Yes.
All right, we'll talk about that in a minute because that's a little bit beyond our grasp. My grasp, not yours. The miseducation of the black educator.
Right.
Oh, them Negroes are miseducated.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? The miseducation of the black educator because they do the other people's bidding. All right, and of course, y'all know Amos Wilson's work. So what I did was I stood on the shoulders of all of those that put together the foundation for us, the John Henry Clarks, the Dr. Benz, the Amos Wilsons, the Shashi McIntyres, and Francis Cress Wilsons, and J. Carruthers, and I can go on and on and on. But what about all these brothers that have sacrificed their lives to put this body of work together? I put together in an alternative black studies course. All right, it starts tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. If you're interested, please take my phone number down right now, 678-557-2919. Let me give it to you again because most of y'all didn't take out your phone. You're not writing. 67, you already got it? He said, okay. All right. Fidel Castro, we locked. All right. 678-557-2919. He's the only sister that called that. Don't worry about it. 678-557-2919. All right. So standing on the shoulders of all of these ancestors that came before us. All right. Ivan Van Sertima's work is lost with us. We have to go back and reclaim it.
Amen.
All right. Elijah Muhammad's work is lost. Marimba Ani still walks among us. But who's studying Urugu? All right. Dr. Ben's work. All right. In other work. And John E. already admitted the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Grammys. Put everything in the context of the fact that we are at war. Kalanji mentioned that, did he not? So everything that I'm about to say from this point forward, including what I've already said, all right, put it in the context of we are at war. I'm going to let y'all marinate on this for a minute. I'm a soul in search of souls that are like minds like mine. There shall be no other God for me, before me. I am God having a human experience called Griff. I'll stand on it and I'll die on it.
Do we have any water? Some strange reason. I'm hot, man.
I guess.
Are y'all as hot as I am?
Anyway, each generation must out of relative obscurity discover its mission, fulfill it, or betray it. If we do not know who we are, then we are whoever somebody else says we are. Thank you very much. Somebody said, married life looks good on me. I'm like, he said nothing about married life looking good on her. You understand what I'm saying?
Might be a whole nother book.
That's a whole nother book. Yo, she doing yoga better, she cooking better. You understand what I'm saying? And nobody said nothing about that. But it just looks good on me. All right, thank y'all, really appreciate that. Be mindful of those teachers who insist on referring to themselves and their students as African Americans. In a conversation with somebody, they kept saying, our country, our soldiers, and Negro, stop. Stop. They're not even letting you wear the uniform, putting the patch on or nothing. You understand what I'm saying? It is ridiculous when I hear this. They are generally not comfortable with being African and will defend African American vehemently, claiming that they are both. Know nothing about Africa, but will claim both. This African American kind of concept. I know we're talking about 2020 and the mind fuck. Oh, excuse me. Wrong lecture. We're talking about 2020 and the third eye blind. I'm sorry about that. That was a Freudian slip. We're talking about 2020 correcting the vision. All right? Most of us have understood our life path number, understood who we are, where we come from, went on Ancestry.com and figured it all out, and now we're here in 2020 and we don't have a clue what's in front of us. How many hurdles we have to jump over. And I think the first place we should start is understanding just basic principles. And that basic principle is what Kalaji laid out. We're definitely at war. So put everything in that particular context and let's move forward. All right? Ironically, you seldom see the African side of these particular individuals. What am I saying by this? All of these people, we have to begin consciously rejecting them, just them, period. What they say, how they move, because you see how they move. But we always make excuses on why they're moving the way they're moving. Are you following me? Okay. So Elijah Muhammad says, it is knowledge of self that the so-called Negro lacks. All right? We have to put in place a point of reference. Now, just think about your own life right now for a minute. What point of reference do you operate from? All right? In understanding that point of reference, if we can take that and put it in the context of the fact that we're at war, I am responsible for what I say today. And I need you to understand this particular dynamic because it's very, very real. I'm responsible for everything that comes out of my mouth. Not only for today, but from now on. You ever say something and you watch it leave your mouth and you try to pull it back? And after it leaves you, after that arrow leaves the bow, you can't pull it back. It is what it is. So from this day forward, this is what we're going to do, everyone in this room. You know how you take a rock and you can throw it in a pond and it causes a ripple effect? Imagine that a ripple effect is 7 generations down behind us. Every word we say, we're responsible for 7 generations behind us. Now, can you honestly stand up and grab this microphone and spew some of the stuff I hear some of the people spewing? Be responsible for it. You're going to be held responsible for it. And you're going to be accountable for it. All right? Are you following me? See, the vibe in the room is kind of changing now. Because now we have a duty and responsibility. We can't just grab the mic and say anything. MC, rapper. You can't just grab the mic and say anything because you're held responsible for it. Are you following me? All right? So I am responsible for what I say. I'm not responsible for what you understand. All right? It's not how others see you. It's how you see yourself. How do you see yourself as an individual, us as a collective group of people in 2020? You all already knew that Trump was going to have to find a boogeyman to start a war with. You knew it had to be someone, right or wrong. Every president has to do it, right or wrong. All right, so let's just understand. So you do understand the science that Kalaji dropped on the whole history of Iran, right? With Mossadegh and the Shah being the Shah of Iran. All right, okay, so we got that. So how many people actually celebrated, the first of the year? Because when Kalaji hit me with the whole, 2020 thing, the new year, I didn't say anything about it. I just kind of said, well, maybe that's one aspect I probably need to talk about at the lecture. Is this actually a new year?
Not really.
Okay, I had an interesting conversation with someone the other day about the Gregorian calendar, and they was Clueless. I'm like, wow. So we don't have that knowledge of the time signature? The 1260 versus the 1320, is that too deep? I hope it's not too deep for this audience, right? Okay, so we know this is not the new year. Then according to our science, how should we be conducting ourselves, Glenn? Now that we know that this is not the new year. And then what year is it? And then what is the vibration and the spirit of what our ancestors have given us that's going to help shape our, and mold our behavior patterns and our thinking? All right? So it's the new year, so we'll be going to church with a bigger hat and better outfit on. How should we do that? Give more time? What should we be doing? All right? So that information we have to get a hold of in order for it to dictate our behavior and our thinking. Am I right or wrong? Right. If we don't even know what year it is, what's your perspective? What's your point of reference?
You don't have one.
Ishaka Musabella Shango gave us African people and European holidays. As long as this information been among us, we still saying Happy New Year? You still shooting firecrackers and all this other kind of stuff that you do, getting drunk, bringing in the so-called New Year violently, loud, rude, disrespectful, and we're allowing our children to utter this whole ritual, Happy New Year, and when it's not a New Year, we know better. But we sit idly by and just allow it to happen. And then we turn around and say, I don't know what happened to him or her. We just kind of know you is what happened to them. Not correcting the stuff when you hear it and when you see it. You got to check it on the spot. Am I right or wrong? Okay. You could have, when they said Happy New Year, you could have said, hold on for a second. Come here, sweetheart. Sit down. According to the Gregorian calendar, this is really not a new year. According to Kemetic science and who we are as a people, according to the Dogon, according to, I can point to any village, any spiritual system in Africa, and we could have corrected that. But even if we're going to say Happy New Year, at least give them the science. At least educate them. Am I right or wrong? That's right. Okay, then when they grow older, then they can make the choice themselves to put on the happy little hat and blow the little thing on December 31st. Are you following me? Okay. How many people heard more gunshots on December 31st than you? It's almost like a war zone, right or wrong. Shh, don't tell nobody, but when you shooting that gun in the air, them bullets got to come down somewhere, right or wrong. Right? Are we cognizant of this particular point? Okay, I'm just checking, because maybe it's just me. Because black people will celebrate the 4th of July, St. Patrick's Day, and Thanksgiving, but when it comes to celebrating Kwanzaa, crickets. Crickets. Brother said, I'm not into that. Okay, that maybe it's just me. Stop allowing your own insecurities to color the way you interpret someone else's intentions. That's coming from you. It's how you're processing what I'm saying right now. Oh man, I don't know. I like Griff, he cool man, but his voice is too raspy for me. Curse too much. Wear his hat backwards. I don't even understand that, man. You understand what I'm saying? Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, our ancestor now. Thank you. I love it, man, because every time I put the sister up on the screen somewhere, I get that beautiful kind of warm. But we have yet to carry on her work. I've been to a whole bunch of lectures, and I rarely hear her name. Be honest with me. Let's just be real for a minute, all right? When's the last time you heard Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad's name mentioned at a lecture? You see what I mean? That's going to be us, Baruti. When we're dead and gone, all this work that we have done and laid out, they'll rarely mention our name. Except when Public Enemy come up with me, they probably, oh, I remember him. And you'll get some joke with some dudes in the background doing that shit. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, joke over now, but what about the work that the brother put in? What about the 24, probably end up with about 24 more books before we have to lower them in the ground? You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be able to at least take the sister's work, take it down off the shelf, all right, study it, and then make it applicable to little sister life right here. Are you following what I'm saying? So when we go into 2020, we have to pass this information forward. Server, you have it. Well, I need you to finish putting it in the book so we can take it and make it part of the curriculum. I'm sorry to get on you, bro. But I'm saying, Kalaji has it. All right, Jahi has it. I'm waiting. Akbar.
Yes.
All right, has it. He put it in the book because we got on him. Racism, white supremacy is a local and global power system and dynamic, structured and maintained by persons who classify themselves as white, whether consciously or subconsciously determined, which consists of patterns of perception, logic, symbol formation, thought, speech, action, and emotional response as conducted simultaneously in all areas of people activity. And y'all should know the areas of people activity already. What are they? Economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, for the ultimate purpose of white genetic survival and to prevent white genetic annihilation. These people are trying to survive genetically on the planet. All right? So they have to bomb people and kill people. They've always done this. This is nothing new. Are you following me? They're following the script. There's nothing wrong with the system in America and how it works. It's working just fine. It's working just fine. Not for you and I, because we have to sit back and watch them bomb people, and then we have to catch the flack for it. Because when we go to travel abroad, they can say, are you American? Are you following me? The code, I made it part of the curriculum because we talk about living by the code, but how many of us know that Nearly Fuller gave us the code to live by? All right? And how many of us pass this down to them young brothers and sisters that are coming behind us? I'm going to be real quick. Khalid Abdul Muhammad says, have you forgotten that once we were brought here, we were robbed of our names, robbed of our language. We lost our religion, our culture, our God, and many of us, by the way we act, we even lost our minds. How true is that today? We put that on our album years ago, and that's true right now, today. Many of us, the way we act, we even lost our minds. And we act like none of these brothers and sisters that I'm mentioning have ever came before us and laid their life out and left us a body of work for us to pull from. And they have. So this whole idea of what Trump is pulling off is based and stooped in this whole idea of the Hegelian dialectic principle. How the problem reaction solution paradigm works. The government creates and exploits a problem, then attributes blame to others. It was the United States government that was involved in fostering the war between Iran, and Iraq. They were in the middle of that. And then, like Kalanji said, the CIA was the ones that took the Shah and put the Shah on the throne in Iraq because they wanted the oil. All right, and they weren't going for it. The same thing in Afghanistan, the same playbook over and over again. Then the populace reacts by asking the government for protection to help to solve the problem. Well, the government started the problem in the first place, but it's affecting the people. So the people cry out for the government to do something, then the government turns around and says, the government offers a solution. That was the plan by them long before the crisis even occurred. And now when you see the bobbleheads on TV, all of them got the same script, all of them telling the same lie. Well, he was planning to kill Americans. Where? When? And we fought for it every single time. But if we was at Ackerman Institute, we would learn to understand what's going on locally as well as globally. We'd understand political science from that perspective. And we'd understand what's going on in the world that will ultimately affect our people. You say, well, affect our people, like Kalanji said, we thinking, okay, these people are not black. All right? Do you understand what's going on in Yemen and in other places that involves Iran? You understand the minerals that they have to get out of Africa to make bombs and all these other things? Yes, it will affect our people. And what makes you think that's going on there and it's not ultimately coming home? To a hood near you. Outcome. Rights and liberties are exchanged for the illusion of protection and help. Brothers and sisters, you already know, and I don't have to say this, and I'm going to move real quick. These people are not going to protect you. Not at all. They're not going to. I'm going to show you how and why. The Hegelian dialectic principle. Dr. Wade Noble said, power is the ability to define reality and have other people respond to your definition as if it was their own definition. All right? So the scripture says we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against rulers, against the authority, against the cosmic powers and forces, all right, that rule the dark realm, all right, this present darkness, against spiritual forces, against spiritual wickedness in high places. All right, and you're seeing that right now as we speak. One of their own fought against this, put the information in his book, and where do you think he ended up? How did they kill William Cooper? Police shot him. on a trumped up charge on a warrant that they fostered up downtown somewhere. William Cooper had this pullout in the back of his book, this book, Behold the Pale Horse. All right, he laid out and named the names, people that belong to the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Bilderberg Group, and this New World Order connection. Laid them out on college and university presidents. He laid out everyone in Congress. He laid them all out. Pulled the cover off of them. The quality of education given to the lower class must be the poorest of sort, pardon me, so that the moat of ignorance isolating the inferior class from the superior class is and remains incomprehensible to the inferior class. With such an initial handicap, even bright lower class individuals have little, if any, hope of extracting themselves from their assigned lot in life. That is it. You're not going any further. You're a school teacher, middle school teacher, stay there. You're not going any further. You're not going to move on and teach out of college and get tenure and all this other kind of stuff. You're assigned lot in life. This is the plan that they have for you. And we need to understand this particular dynamic. Experts from page 7, silent weapons and quiet wars. What do you think you're seeing when America is dropping? Listen, they publicize them killing that brother over there in Iran. What about all the covert wars that's been going on all the people that they've killed? The quality of education given to the lower class must be of the poorest sort. How many people in here got degrees and you don't know where you're going to get a job from next? You got a degree in underwater bubble bath and can't find a job. You can't find a goddamn job in Bed Bath & Beyond. You understand what I'm saying? And this is real, for real, man. So the secret government and William Cooper pulled the cover off of him and they killed him for it. I'm saying to you, if they killed William Cooper that way, what do you think they got in store for you? So this whole idea, your belief in the system makes the system real. You've seen The Wizard of Oz. All that madness Dorothy and her homeboys were going through, including Toto, that shit wasn't even real. The belief in the system made it real. They thought the little funky little white dude behind the curtain pulling the lever had power. He had no power. He only had the power that you give him. Am I right or wrong? And this is real. We need to understand that, man. I got to skip over some of this because, yeah. There's a sacred energy guiding you. Would you agree? Yeah. That's why lately you've been distancing yourself from who and what no longer serves or lowers your vibration. Instead, you've become attracting and manifesting who and what does serve you, elevate you, nourish you, and inspire you to vibrate higher. Surround yourself with people that speak to your highest and your best good. All right? Because the God in me recognizes the God in you. And it salutes one another. And there's just certain things that we don't even have to discuss. Me and this brother probably don't have the same belief system, but we can vibe one another because we have something that's in common. Are you following what I'm saying? And later on, if he want to debate some stuff later on in private, we can talk. But I ain't angry with the brother because he don't have prayer beads or, you know, he might read the Bible. I might read the Quran, the pyramid text or some other stuff. Or I might dive into certain aspects of African spirituality or whatever. It don't make you my enemy. Let me sit down with you because I know you can impart some things on me once you get that book done, right or wrong. Okay, I'm just saying. There's a shift happening. The world's people are waking up from the spell. Do not be distracted by negative agendas, false news. Did I say false news? False news, low frequency foods, low frequency entertainment. Did I say low frequency entertainment? Okay. Nor by any of the demons busy at work. Transformation is under. Listen, some of these demons look just like us. And they speak well. Captivate audiences. This room would probably be packed if some of them demons were in here. Stop that. Y'all don't know what I'm talking about, so stop. I hear your mind's churning. The transformation is underway regardless within you. Right now as we speak and as you read this, it is real. Trust it, honor it, nurture it, cultivate it, protect it. The shift is happening right now as we speak. As soon as you grow one more notch, you're about to lose 10 more friends. Think about the last 10 you lost for no damn reason because you grew up out of some things. You go to hang out with your girls now because you done elevated yourself. Now you natural. They looking at you like you crazy. And what you got on that for? Because you covering yourself. You understand what I'm saying? We'll talk about that in a few minutes. All right? So let's dive into this whole correcting division. Can you take out your cell phone? I'm going to show you how for the last 5 years, and Soleil will attest to this, at least the last 3, that I've been talking about this, and now it's coming where we can adjust the lens and we can see it. I need you to Google this number, US 6506148. Go to Google, put in US 6506148. Go to Google and put in US 6506148. Raise your hand when you get it. Yep. Now, as you begin to read that and adjust your lens, you tell me what you're coming up with.
Should we put the B2?
Don't put the B2 yet. No. US 6506148. Who got it? Who said they had it? Oh, read it for me.
Yes, ma'am.
Nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitoring.
See, bro, you tall, dark, and handsome, man. You got that deep Barry White kind of voice. You got to read that slow so everybody can hear you. All right? Don't worry about it. We got you.
Good.
Okay.
Nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields from monitors.
The nervous, so the nervous system is being affected by electromagnetic fields. All right? Name me at least 1 hour when you don't have your cell phone in your hand or on your hip. Huh? Some people on the nightstand. Some people never turn it off. When's the last time you turned it off? You getting my point now in 2020? Some of the things that we need to start unlearning and undoing now. Come on now. Don't look at me. Think about it. How long have you been without your cell phone? How many people have children that hand the phone to the child as a form of entertainment or amusement or just to keep their little minds busy? So if we're talking about the nervous system manipulation by electromagnetic fields by monitors, what monitors? Cell phone monitors, computer monitors, TV monitors. So if it's manipulating your nervous system, what is it doing to your nervous system? How is it manipulating your nervous system? Are you interacting with your phone? Are you talking into your phone? I know I'm guilty. I talk into my remote control for the TV every night. And my wife think I'm cheating on her with Judy Woodruff. Y'all know Judy Woodruff on the PBS station? Okay, yeah, so anyway. I'm trying to get the news, man. I'm trying to, you understand what I'm saying? But I'm saying, so we all guilty. I'm just saying we all have to find and maneuver our way around these particular things that's going to affect us because, and I'm going to say this slow, as we think we're making progress in 2020, 2020 is just going to look just like 2019. Are you following me? Okay. The CIA and the Tapestry Institute, the Global Intelligence Police Gestapo state. We already know at Tapestry Institute, all right, they already planned the plans and gave it to the people that's going to set the plan in motion, but they don't have the plan. They have one aspect of the plan. So the president has to bomb, has to create war. They have to make the next stockpile of money that's going to carry them through the next 10 years. All right, it's his job. Last president, who was it? Obama? Who did he go to war with? Bomb Libya. Who else got destroyed? Come on, talk to me. We know our global history. All right, did he not bomb Iran also? Who else? More, I mean, he was the drone warrior, they said. They called him the drone warrior. Syria, go ahead, who else? They had a list of people they were going to destroy. Okay, the president before him, Bush, who did he go to war with? Iraq. Who else? Come on now. The one before him, come on, talk to me. Clinton. He went after who? You went for 4 or 5 different places, but they were covert actions that the press got a hold of and the media started putting them on blast. The president before him, we can go at least 5 presidents back. Can we do that? Come on, help me out, y'all. One more. Reagan. Who did Reagan go to war with? Who was the boogeyman then? Gaddafi, and who else? So these people never stop. This is part of the plan. It's part of being the president. Because you don't run nothing in America but your mouth. Right or wrong? It's someone else who's controlling that agenda. All right? Drones equipped for remote control, anyone using psychotronic, psychological, electronic weapons. How does the drone situation work? You have a phone number. How long you had that phone? 2 years. Which T-Mobile, AT&T? AT&T. AT&T are in cahoots with these people. So AT&T will take their body of numbers and turn it over. All right? Then they connect that. You got a Facebook page. You got Instagram. They're connected and they're building a file on you. So now when they come after you now, the land drone, which you probably never saw a land drone. You can look it up on YouTube, though. Or the air drones. They can just type your number and program your number in and program a drone to release a bomb or a missile to track you via your phone number frequency. All right? That you always keep with you. All right? A year and a half from now. So can you imagine that? It's simple mathematics. Thank you. We have children now that are in school building robots. So if children can build robots, what do you think these demons are doing, man? An overview of how the weapons are deployed by mind control police. You know the earth is set up in grids and ley lines, right? They can track you in any grid that you're in and zero in. All right, they got satellites now that can zero in and look at the pubic hair on a mosquito. You know that, right? Okay, maybe, oh, you're the only one that got that. Thanks, bro. We appreciate that. Okay, so now it's that critical. Synthetic telepathy and the psychotronic weapon tortures by 100,000 FBI and NSA secret spies. All right, and they're doing it by manipulating the phone, the nervous system. You think the information coming through the phone is going to the person that you're talking to, but it's going somewhere else also. And Kalanji said it. Everything that you put in the phone and online, all right, they're storing away. All right? The information and everything that you've given them voluntarily could probably fit into the head of a pen. All right? So all of us are being monitored and all of us are being tracked. So it's nothing. I'm going to skip forward real quick. I want to introduce you to this handsome gentleman right here. Zbigniew Brzezinski, the Global Report 2000 to the President of the United States at that particular time, Jimmy Carter. All right? Zbigniew Brzezinski said they will actually develop on how, all right, and make it more affordable for them to kill millions of people. All right? All right. So, with that said, Google this number, 5159703. 5159703. So Jahi, Baruti, Kalanji, we need to start doing lectures like this where we give the audience homework assignments, like right here on the spot. 5159703, who got it? You got it? Talk to me, good bro. Silent subliminal presentation system. Silent and subliminal. You don't know it's happening. All right? Years later, you end up going to the doctor and you've been had prostate cancer. All right? How they plan on doing that? They're going to roll out the 5G and they're going to make sure that you get it because now it's going to be part of your plan. It's going to be part of your upgrade. And you know you got to have the latest ish, right? You got to get the new phone that wakes you up in the morning, taps you, makes your coffee, tells you when the donuts are ready. You got to get the new phone. Silent subliminal. This is how they're moving and this is how they're working it. And we have to understand this. So Zbigniew Brzezinski in the grand chessboard in which is being played out right now as we speak. Right now, as we speak, if you don't have the book and you can't afford it, hit me up. I'll make sure I get you the ebook. All right? Zbigniew Brzezinski, The Grand Chessboard, American Primacy and the Geostrategic Imperative. What's going on right now? The pages of what's going on, walking right out of the pages of his book. It says, it used to be so much easier to control 1 million people. What did I just say? It used to be so much easier to control 1 million people than to kill them. But today, it is infinitely easier to kill 1 million people than to control them. What do you think they have in mind? Killing. Nothing more, nothing less. How they plan on doing it, he already laid it out in the book, Strategic Vision. They're talking about global power. So, Trump, he's dumb as a damn doorknob, and y'all already know that, right or wrong. But why is he in the position that he's in? To manipulate and control, to move the agenda for, they just need a figurehead. Someone that'll keep you razzled and dazzled with issues of racism and what did he tweet this week and that kind of thing. I'll be finished in a second. Wanted for thought crimes, brain fingerprinting. I've been talking about this for years, have I not, Jahi? This whole idea of brain fingerprinting. Everything that you've experienced in your life is in your brain, and they created a machine that will extract it from your brain. But they sold that to the FBI, and the FBI ditched it. And they came up with this whole idea that Kalanji talked about called the DARPANET, which ultimately evolved into the internet because it was a weapon used by the military. So they don't need to hook you up to no machine anymore to extract these things from you. You voluntarily giving it to them on Facebook, excuse me. You giving them everything. Eye retina scans. You giving them face recognition. You giving them fingerprints. You giving them voice recognition. Everything via your phone. Voluntarily. 15 years ago, now probably 20, the movie Minority Report came out. Do you remember? The things that went on in that movie and even the goddamn Jetsons and the Flintstones are going on right now. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me you don't have a computer wristwatch that they used to wear in the Jetsons. Thank you, Kevin. Really appreciate you, bro, for being honest. It's going on right now. So they talked about this and put the information in a movie. What did you do? You went to the movie, got paid your ticket, went in, bought some popcorn and a little red Kool-Aid, sat back, dozed off, didn't pay attention. One movie you probably paid attention to was The Matrix. Movies like Minority Report, these other movies that foretold what was going to happen, how we'd be living now, it's happening right now. Smart contact lenses. They're equipping the police department with smart contact lenses. Well, what did they do? It's facial recognition software. The contacts have a camera in them. So when they come up to your car and look in, say license and registration, it scans your face and sends them the information, and it comes up in their ear. You know the little earbuds people are buying now? They don't need wires anymore. It's already in their ear. And they're listening to now what headquarters got to say about who you are. Because they already scanned your face. Brought to you by Sony Smart Contact Lenses. Listen, these people are in cahoots with one another. You know why? Because their very survival depends on it. All right? What do we need to do? Because our survival depends on it. What do we need to do? Continue to curse each other out and talk ish on YouTube and shoot each other down? What? Turn your eyes into a camera. So they tricked us with this to get us acclimated to it. And then now they move to the contact lens. There was a movie that did come out. This movie called Strange Days. Put it in your phone real quick. Strange Days. The best movie you never saw. Strange Days does 3 things that will make it a cult film. It creates convincing future landscape and populates it with a hero who comes out of the Noah tradition and flawed and complex rather than simplistic heroic BS. I'm guilty of this next one. I'm driving. I ain't got time to pick up my phone and text with my thumb. I'll take the phone, hit the microphone and talk into it. It'll present text, and I just hit the send, and it'll send the text. How many people have done that? Brain to text software. What they're going to do is take you out of it. I'm going to say that once again because you looked at me kind of like I was kind of crazy. They're going to take you out of the equation. Phone, brain to text, send. But you're going to think it. Listen, thought has a frequency and a vibration. It can activate the phone. Guess what's happening now? Alexa, call Soleil. Ring. That's happening right now. Cars are parking themselves. So don't tell me this can't happen. It's happening right now, but the technology has been among us for so long and the military has been using it.
Yes.
You may see tanks on the battlefield, but nobody driving them. I said nobody. No one driving them. Drones. No one's driving them drones. They released that missile from a drone that was being manned from Washington, D.C. From some freckle-faced little white boy in a back room somewhere like he playing video games. And this is how they're going to wage the war. So what kind of war you think they're going to wage against the hood? Well, not me. I live in the suburbs. I live way out in Alpharetta, right? Okay, and the Jesuit oath. I furthermore promise and declare that I tore this from the Steve Coakley book. All right? I furthermore promise and declare that I will, when the opportunity present, and make a wage of relentless war secretly or openly against all heretics, Protestants, and liberals as I am directed to do. They have a lifelong mission. Now this is against them fighting them. Imagine the oath that they take to fight and destroy you. There's things that they have, I'm talking about the theft of African consciousness. There's things that they've stolen from us that they never want us to know that they've stolen from us. And now they watch us and they see some of us are waking up. It's like, whoa, hold up. And they got to throw the curveball. I'll be finished in a second. The Global Report 2000 Depopulation Program is among us. I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of workers. No, wait. David Rockefeller said this. The educational system, I don't care if you graduated college, is designed for you to work in a factory. That is it. Punch the same thing like a robot. Wake up in the morning, come punch the clock, do your 8 hours, 2 15-minute breaks, 30-minute lunch. You might get a vacation for 2 weeks. That is it. Shut the hell up and go to work. That's it. Robots, automatons. We're on the verge of a global transformation. All we need is the right major crisis, and the nations will accept the New World Order. David Rockefeller. And they've done just that. So when this idiot comes, the pink carrot-looking dude, the orange carrot-looking dude, comes to talk about this whole idea of bombing people that are quote-unquote terrorists, they can label anyone as a terrorist. If they're the ones manipulating the language, they can call anyone a terrorist. Hell, you can sell donuts outside of damn Drunken Donuts and you're a terrorist. Soleimani, Iran's preeminent military commander, was killed on Friday in a U.S. drone strike. And it's no accident. They pick the days that they want to do this because it's a ritual. I said this in my book that I have on the back table dealing with the Illuminati. It's a ritual. And we have to start looking at it as such. All right? So now, I guess he's been on the radar for a long time. But those people like Ilhan Omar and other people are speaking up and out because the thing about this thing, which is really really doesn't move me to the core, but I say to myself, they're violating their own rules and regulations and laws. In order for a president to go to war, to do exactly what he did on Friday, they have to get permission from the Congress. God didn't even consult anyone in Congress. Just did it. How does that? That's gangster, man.
He's a gangster.
He's a rogue gangster. And that's how he's running the White House. Brother Richard, you know what I'm talking about. After Soleimani's death, Colin Kaepernick rips American terrorist attacks against black and brown people. It's coming. It's not a question of if, but when, Minister Server. Not a question of if, but when they're coming. And it's going to be quiet and silent. All right? Straight out his damn, okay, yeah, just let me move forward. I don't have time to go over the silent secret weapons and silent wars. Let me move quick. But Facebook is part of the issue. All right? A black person broke my heart, so I'm going to date someone from the race of people that broke my people. Oh, okay. And these are the people that we're going to look for instruction?
Yes.
Okay, so let me understand this dynamic before I close out. So, but because one is taught in the school system and because one group of people looks at him as the ultimate demon and devil, yet when we go to study our history, well, they won't even allow us to study King Leopold. If Hitler killed 10 million, right? And King Leopold wake up cutting little babies in half with machetes, right? In the Congo. And he killed 15 million Africans. We can't even talk about it. So now the language that we speak is being manipulated, not only on the phones, but in computer, when we do search, when we go to search engines, it's being manipulated. If you went and you tried to find King Leopold, who killed 15 million Africans, where do you think that search will take you? Google ain't playing because Google is part of it. Am I right or wrong? They don't want you to find that. So let's understand the dynamic and how this particular thing works. They have to control the circumference of your thinking. That's what Quasi gave us, right? They have to control the circumference of your thinking so they can direct, all right, your thinking to a certain funnel, all right? So they don't ever want you to think African-centered. All right, because once you start thinking African-centered, then you'll start to do things that preserve your Africanness. Am I right or wrong? Okay, let's understand that. We only are taught about one of these particular individuals. So when we go back into the Ma'afa, in Ma'afa 21, and we start looking at these kind of films, and we have to determine who are these people and how long have they been killing and why are they still killing. All right? The whole idea of the chemical makeup of black people, the reason why I started this lecture off saying that we're all gods having a human experience called you. Alchemy is to transmute the lead of the ego, which is your desire, into the spiritual goal of your consciousness. What did I say? One more time, real slow. Alchemy is to transmute the lead of the ego, which is your desire, into the spiritual goal of the consciousness. By way of this particular thing called metaphysics. Metaphysics is a science that attempts to bring the spiritual and the physical aspects of life together. The method to fuse oneself with God. You cannot claim that you know God and not know yourself. It's an insult. It's an insult. Generally speaking, I think we live in a world where that enjoys black culture but dislikes black people. So we only talk about those that will tickle the ear of those online. So then we might overlook and not even mention Anna Mary Douglas, who's Frederick Douglass's wife. We may not even mention Lilith, who was Adam's first wife in the Bible. So this kind of information gets by us simply because we're not trying to challenge anyone beyond our little group of people. The little group that we might have on Facebook, a couple of thousand people. Are you following me? And half of them ain't real. The FBI has already admitted that. I'm sure, did y'all get that memo? That they created fake pages? And most of them people are not even real. So the whole idea of physically whitewashing or washing black people clean with ivory snow and ivory soap and Dove soap is what's going to go on now spiritually and psychically in 2020. So before they used to wash us clean and we saw the commercials and how it worked out. Does Facebook AdSense removal, if I have ever the slight inclination that I would be portrayed as an inferior or before. This is what the model said. And you wait, the ad came out and you mean to tell me you didn't see how they whitewashed this thing? This is the before, obviously darker, and then by the time you wash with Dove soap, you end up being her. And you mean to tell me you can't see that? See, but this is what they're going to do on a psychic level. All right? So you're going to start to hear, no, I'm not African. I'm not black. I'm not a crayon. I'm not this, that, or the other. You're going to start hearing this terminology. And then at the end of the day, what you're going to end up being. Exactly what they tell you that you're going to end up being. All right? This was the first Dove commercial. And you see the bottom, it says, get more clean. Who's cleaning the white woman? The more. Now that's physically. This is what's going to happen psychically in 2020. All right? The charcoal donut from Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, I guess you didn't see that. Because you went through the drive-thru ordering a goddamn, let me get a number 3 with extra glaze and, yeah. But you didn't order the charcoal donut. Dunkin' Donut, enjoy the moment. Enjoy your moment with the charcoal donut. The charcoal barbecue ring donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. All those good cops y'all love bringing up when you say not all cops are bad seem to never be around when their comrades are killing innocent black people. They ain't never around. Some of them have openly admitted who's an open enemy. And you still don't believe them. Let me end this. Our mental side is so deep that we trust enemies to do what's best for us. Thank you, Imani Muke, Bomani Barudi. Where is he? Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Which book is that in? Mental side? I think the orange one, right? I think that's where I pulled it from. It's in mental side. He said, okay, I got 24 books in front of me, bro. Can I take 5 more minutes? All right. Our mental side is so deep that we trust our enemies to do what's best for us. All right, so when we talk about those who reject their ancestors will be rejected by their offspring. Y'all didn't hear what I just said. Those who reject their ancestors will be rejected by their offspring. Bobby E. Wright in his book, The Psychopathic Racial Personality and Other Essays, talk about the whole idea of the psychopathic racial personality when it comes to, he says, Bobby Wright contends that viewing white behavior towards non-white and psychopathic provides a new lens through which to analyze and combat the actions and the aims of Europeans. It is simple. They've always murdered people. They have no problem with murdering people. As a matter of fact, beyond people, I think Jay Carruthers said they're at war with everything. No, you didn't hear what I said. I said anything. Everything. The air, birds, whales, fish, flies, everything. They have to manipulate and control and dominate everything. Dr. Leonard Jeffrey says whoever controls the images controls the self-esteem, self-respect, and self-development. Whoever controls the history controls the vision. Dr. Ben says when your God and your Savior looks like the master and enslaver, you become the principal agent in your own destruction. Yes. You become the principal agent. And you can't even move yourself out the way. Because my mama was a Christian, her mama was a Christian, her mama's mama was a Christianite. You can't get beyond that. To teach them a different aspect of Christianity. So we can eventually come together. I don't mind Minister Server being a Christian. We can still vibe, right or wrong.
I'm not a Christian.
Oh, that's good. Thank you. See, but when you write that book, we'll finally figure that out. Anyway. Dr. Amos Wilson says, how different would your education be if we went to school to learn to create jobs for ourselves? Can you imagine that? You educate the children like they do at Ackerman Institute to learn how to create jobs for ourselves. My mother beat it into me. Get a good education so you can do what? Get a good job. That's it? So that's all we're going to do, Mom? 2 more minutes. Your culture is your immune system. So what do you do to support your immune system? What do you do to participate in your culture? Look around the room. This is our culture. How many of us can stop right now and point to the mask from Benin and give us the breakdown in the history? Not many. So what are we doing? If your culture is your immune system, we need to be immersed in the culture, our culture. All right? And it's multifaceted.
Yes.
I'm going to end this. Twerking is not a talent. Stripping is not a career. The term thought doesn't make goddamn sense. You don't have to turn up every goddamn day everywhere you go. Stop buying J's and walk while you walked and taking the bus. Money is not everything. You ain't a goddamn model because you show your ass on Instagram. You definitely not. Nobody wants to look at you for ish. There's nothing, anyway, from cheating people and fraud will get you nowhere. matching shoes with your mate or your wife or your husband don't mean a goddamn thing in a relationship. The relationship falling apart, but you wake up matching and shit. I gotta say. Damn, I had to laugh at that. So anyway, your kids cussing on the internet video isn't cute. Nope. It's not cute. Being a pregnant lesbian isn't logical. Let me stop, man. Life goals. Make 10 million. No, to hell with that. How about be a positive impact? Because of your positive impact, 20 million will come. Half of that in physical money, some gold coins, some gold bars, some other things. Home, good friends, that kind of thing. The other 10 million will come in something else. All right? Something that you don't have to touch, something that's more valuable. Follow what I'm saying? Find inner peace. Collect more beautiful memories. Gain more self-confidence. Make your parents proud. What happened to that goddamn concept? What about the whole idea of making your parents proud, man? It seems like kids be doing just the opposite. I'm going to purposely take this picture and put it on the internet with half my ass hanging out. That should make my mom proud. Society says go to school, get a job, get married, get in debt, work to pay off the debt, have kids, retire at 63, and then die. We say no. Go to school if you want to, start a business, work your ass off for yourself, hire your own employees like your homeboy, your wife, your children, whoever, travel the world, date a boss, marry a boss like I did. Are you a boss? Yeah, marry a boss like I did. Have boss children. I don't know, we don't have children yet, but Ethan's on the way. Retire at age 40 and live. Yes. Blessed are those that struggle. Oppression is worse than the grave. It's better to live and die for a noble cause than to live and die a slave. Asante Sana, thank y'all very much. I love y'all to life, man. Stand up and give yourselves a round of applause.
Give it up against my third cousin removed. He had me nervous. We go different places or whatever. He be saying some things or whatever. So I'm over there like, I don't know what this dude about to say, man. But definitely, we're looking to put together a lecture series. I'm planning something right now. We haven't talked to Griff yet, but we're going to be doing something in Wallamove, K. Baruti and myself, dealing with the assassination of Hajj Malik Shabazz. It's called From Detroit Red to Malcolm. Of course, we're going to work on getting Griff involved as well. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Baba Baruti, he opened up today, but he's an educator who taught at Morehouse for how many years? 9 years, and he gave them all kinds of problems, so they're like, please, sir, how much can we pay you to quit? Yes, and they laughing, they don't know I'm serious. But he is one of our most serious scholars that we have. He's here in the Atlanta area. Him and Yabaruti, his wife, who is also an educator and warrior, they have the Akabin Institute, which is not far from where we are right now. So for those of you who are looking to get that African-centered education, back in the day, folks used to talk about what we don't have. We don't have this. I remember Dr. Clark used to talk about how we didn't even have our own toilet paper. We have that now. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever you can think of, if you don't know how to get it, get with us, and we'll make sure that you won't have that problem anymore. We want to thank the vendors, give it up for the vendors because of the fact that they are not only the vendors, they are our sponsors. So make sure before you leave, you support the vendors. You have, Baba Baruti has 29 books? 25, it'll be 29 next week. I mean, he writes books like, y'all laughing, he have a book out tomorrow about this. It's being edited now? I think it's being edited now, so catch it tomorrow. So you have Yabaruti, you have a sister Cindy over here, she has all types of things. We was talking about that training, sisters and everything. I know some of y'all brothers, y'all need to come out too. You know what I'm saying? But she has, for the time being, she has all types of goods over here. Professor Griff has his booth in the back. I'm over in the front. This is my son in the front here. My son Kayvon, he can take care of you for some products and everything. And we have Sister Tuere and refresh over there, refreshment. We have so many other brothers and sisters here. So make sure that you support them. We appreciate you all coming out because of the fact that it shows us that not only are we surviving, but we're looking at moving it forward. I know he didn't come out for Professor Griff to entertain you because if you know him, that's not his main role and objective. You understand what I'm saying? So again, we thank you all. You know, commune, talk to the people, whatever, and let's make something happen. I appreciate y'all. And we also like to thank Omanala Griot Museum. Brother Kevin Williams here. Brother Kevin, where you at? This facility right here is black owned and operated, and it's right in the heart of the West End. Whenever you consider doing an event, you make sure you reach out to this brother. We've been working with him for well over a decade, you know, or more. I don't even remember.
Much more. We've
Yeah.
been here since 1994.
Yeah.
This place was established by my mother, Dr. Margaret Paulson, retired school teacher, who was so upset about the way our children were being lied to in school, public school. Being a teacher, she was so incensed she opened this place. Remember is Evo for the true story, and of course we're all our teachers. Remember the grill. Ashe.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you again.
I like this as a background. That was hard when we put like it's all
Right. Learn.
February 3:15.
Let me look at the calendar. 15. Look at my calendar last night.
We gonna set something up. Let me know. Either way, if not, we'll do a double. Yeah. In the middle, need more light.
Thank you. I pulled that from the mental side. Yeah.
Man, listen, man. Not about you, right?
All right, good brother. We appreciate you.
Just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir. So you said that to me already? Hustle, you said that to me already?
Yeah, I got it. I got the video and the picture.
Griff, you going?
Oh, yes. Take my number. Take my number and yes, launch it. Peace, we out. Yeah, I forgot the camera was rolling. My phone number 678-557-2919.